Let's jump right into the topic of self-love. Self-love is often overlooked and underappreciated, and we undervalue the need to love on ourselves. I don't mean in any type of crazy way. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Let's check in with ourselves. What were our highs over the past couple weeks? What were our lows over the past couple weeks? I'll share with you guys mine, and you can share in the comments. We can create a community that really encourages one another. So for me, my highs were I created a new channel. One which I had already monetized. It was an old YouTube channel which was already monetized. And the focus is on international tech, Black Tech International. The focus is on actually creating a space where I can focus my conversation and content on specifically international tech related and tech related, as well as diversity, equity, inclusion focus. And it's more of just a professional sphere where it's kind of a box where I can put all of that tech professionalism things into. What I was finding over the past month of creating content for Tech with Reggie, I was putting myself in a bit of a box. As someone who is multi-dimensional, multi-talented, and just more than a tech professional, I felt a little bit caged, a little bit boxed in by constantly putting out content that was solely focused on tech. And one, it caused a bit of burnout, but it also caused me to not feel like I was fully giving all that I could when it comes to this content creation. Really, this Before the Money series that I've been putting out has kind of allowed me to dive into different topics that really get to express myself. That was one of the highs that I had, was the rebrand. Now, the lows that I had was also part of that rebrand. Rebranding meant I had to give up a channel that was already monetized and refocus the content and shift away from the audience that I had already developed. Now, the hard part for me was I felt like it was a big risk because the genre that the monetized channel was in was basically children's music. I pretty much had 3,000 videos that I created. They weren't seeing much traction. As far as the area in the brand that I want to build over the next 10 years, I wanted to refocus it. In doing so, I felt like I took a risk to rebrand the channel, and quite honestly, it scared the crap out of me. I mean, I definitely am a bit nervous about if it will land, if it will work, and those types of things. And so for me, that was one of the lows. Another low I felt was a rejection from a job interview. I had an interview over a month ago for a compliance position. I was a principal security compliance position for a pretty big organization, and it came with a hefty compensation package. I didn't get the job. There was somebody that they said was better qualified, etc., etc. I felt like this interview and the hiring process was fair, it was equitable. I felt that I didn't necessarily perform my best. I wasn't quite exactly sure how it would land. I felt like I did a great job, but in the end, I didn't get the job. I've had other positions where I've been faced with rejection, and some of it I was like, is it because I'm black or etc. This one I felt like, hey, I felt like the better man or woman won that opportunity. Hats off to them. It stung a little bit. You know, I was talking to my therapist about it yesterday, and in our discussion, it was like, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain in life is going to happen. Rejection is going to happen. You're going to fail. People close to you are going to go through hardships and eventually even die. In life, we don't get to choose whether or not we go through pain. We do get to choose whether we stack suffering on top of that pain, and do we choose to engage in those negative thoughts and those spiraling thoughts of self-doubt, fear, punishment, punishing ourselves, devaluing our self-worth. all of these types of things we choose. For me, this time, I'm choosing not to suffer. It's really quite the opposite. I felt that it was a great opportunity to sharpen my skills within the interview, and actually to, it's been a while since I've interviewed at all. In a comfortable position. I'm in a position where, I don't need a new opportunity, but this one just happened to come across my desk and I happened to engage with it. And for what it's worth, I felt like this actually helped me grow. Those are my lows. And what I want to say to you guys again is that pain is inevitable. In life, we're going to go through it, but suffering is optional. As you go through your next week, just keep that in mind. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Love on yourself. Tell yourself that you're worthy, you are smart, you are capable, you are competent. Eventually, if we stay diligent with our work, consistent and disciplined, we will accomplish what we set out to. Eventually, the right opportunity will present itself and we will capitalize and we will reach that goal. Love you guys. Have a good day. Have a good week.